Hello, my name is Brien, and it's my pleasure to present this study, Enabling Local Provision of Assistive Technology in Rural South India, a survey of needs, barriers, and facilitators. And I'm sharing this paper on behalf of my co-authors on the study at Amar, Seva, Sangam in Tamil Nadu, India. So welcome to South India. Access to assistive technology is essential to maximizing function, participation, and inclusion of persons with disabilities. But challenges to provision and the use of assistive technology in low and middle income countries include stigma, physical and social barriers, cost and availability of assistive technology, and limitations in local clinical expertise. So determining local needs, barriers, and facilitators to assistive technology access are essential to addressing gaps and providing supports. Our aims were to identify the met and unmet assistive product needs and provision, and to explore barriers and facilitators to provision of priority assistive products, according to the rehab professionals in rural South India. We used an online survey methodology, and the study was conducted at Amar Seva Sangam, an NGO serving children and adults with disabilities in 3 rural districts of South Tamil Nadu, India. We used a volunteer sample of the NGO's rehabilitation professionals who provide both center and village-based services. They included physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech trainers, and special educators. Amar Seva Sangam is located at the southernmost tip of India and serves 3 districts in South Tamil Nadu. The survey was developed based on the WHO's assistive product list. Assistive products were grouped into the following categories: mobility devices, standing and sitting postural aids, orthotics and prosthetics, communication devices and learning aids, visual and hearing aids, personal living aids, and environmental modifications. So the respondents completed surveys based on discipline-specific assistive product groupings, and they ranked their top 3 responses to each question. Met and not met needs were ranked by top 3 assistive products, either most or least provided. Barriers and facilitators were classified based on the 5 A's for availability, accessibility, affordability, adaptability, and acceptability. And response statements were developed and associated to the theme of each of the 5A categories. A total of 62 online questionnaires were received from members of our multidisciplinary teams. Met and unmet needs were identified based on each assistive product within discipline-specific categories. And service providers also identified barriers and facilitators that were varied across disciplines, but where common themes were found, and we're able to identify the top 3 barriers and top 3 facilitator categories across disciplines. Priority assistive products were classified according to being met or unmet, going from lower cost, lower tech to higher cost, higher tech. The top 3 barrier categories were identified across disciplines. First, the acceptability category, and that was represented by the response statement in the survey: not accepted by the service user and or family due to appearance and stigma. Next, not able to mobilize a service user family for measurements or difficulties with travel. The next category was availability. So long wait lists for government-provided assistive products and or not able to order from an external source. And the last category was affordability, not affordable for service user or family. Top 3 facilitator categories were identified across disciplines. First, accessibility. And that was identified by 3 different statement responses: training and education for professionals to prescribe, assess, and modify assistive products. Next, client education for the service users and their families, and access to device repair facilities. The next category was acceptability, identified by community education and awareness, and improving appearance, comfort, and usability of the assistive products. And lastly, affordability, availability of funds for the assistive technology. Implications of our study for clinicians was the need for capacity building of service providers on assessment, prescription, fit training, and use of assistive products. Also, the need to implement assistive product assessment camps and service provision within rural areas, and to provide education programs for service providers and their families. For the community, we enhance community awareness programs to further address assistive product related stigma. We increase fundraising campaigns and enable affordability, and identify local suppliers for provision, adaptation, and repairs of equipment. Our institutional level survey, based on the WHO's priority assistive products, was successful at identifying needs, barriers, and facilitators using the principles of the 5 A's. We were able to catalyze change in enabling local provision of assistive products. And I acknowledge the full participation of our various rehab teams and rehab specialists in this study and the implementations of the recommendations. Thank you.